Good morning. Well, our big weekend has dawned. We are in Manchester, so sorry it's not Scotland on a shoestring again. We're in Manchester because we are doing a wee run tomorrow of 26 miles. But today we're going to go and do Parkrun. But first, sniffing. Lots and lots of sniffing. Dinero's realising he might have to run today. Don't worry mate, today is a walkie day. And that's where we are, Sail Water. And the first thing we've done is obviously find the cafe. Well, we call this Parkrun, but as you can see, we're wearing full clothing because we're not running today, because after months and months of training, well, weeks and weeks of, well, days and days of training, I don't want to get injured the day before the marathon, so we're taking it very easy. The dog is getting a walk. There's a map of the water park and Broad Ease Dole, which is a local nature reserve. But basically, we are where are we? We are here. And we're going to go for a run that we go along there and round there and round there and round there to here and then back again. So it should be quite nice, I hope. We'll find out. You're coming with us, so you'll find out as well. So it's nearly time for what could be the slowest and most careful parkrun ever. I bet they don't normally get this number of people here. There's a whole big running group arrived. Mostly people, I guess, who are doing the marathon tomorrow. So yeah, let's go and walk the dog for 5 kilometres. Dinero is standing there shaking, and people are saying, "Oh, he should have his coat on," but it's not cold at all. He's just a bit excited. He's started to really like crowds of people and likes to be involved because there's a big group of people over there. And Dinero was trying to get right in the middle of them. Yeah, he's a different dog to when we got him a year and a bit ago. Close-up of a dog's nose, anyone? Yeah, there's a close-up of a greyhound's nose and his shaky bottom. Lots of warnings about how uneven and how wet it is, so yeah, we'll be taking it very easy. Quite a lot of people here. We're going to be at the very back, walking, obviously, with himself. But yeah, look at that. That is a lot of people all out to enjoy this run. A lot of whom are also doing the marathon tomorrow. So yeah, good luck to all of us. Dinero is trying to bounce and he's just tripped over a little dog that was doing the run. Just so you know, that is the lake there and the Water Sports Centre building over in the distance. So we are now following Bex and SJ, who are somebody keeps stopping for a pee every 5 minutes. Yeah, and I'm sorry, but I did drink quite a lot last night. Exactly 50 minutes later, that is that done. No more athleticism until tomorrow. This afternoon we're going to go and explore a wee bit of Manchester with you, so come along for that. It'll be it's interesting. It's quite an interesting city. A bit grim in quite a lot of places, but bits of it are alright. But of course, after Parkrun, you've got to go and visit the cafe where Bex, as always, has made a new friend. This little dog stood looking at her until she said, "Come on, up you come," and up he came. The owner was unsure. So we headed back to Cheadlehume, a place about which there is absolutely nothing interesting to tell you, and got the train into Manchester, and they have got a magnificent railway station. This is Manchester Piccadilly, and again it's very Victorian and very grand, with lots of cast iron and lots of unnecessary sort of little embellishments I absolutely love. This is an amazing building, and yeah, Manchester has got a lot of really amazing buildings, and some that are a bit right, not sure. But apart from the amazing Victorian stuff, it's a pretty standard railway station. There's nothing very exciting to tell you or show you. Lots of people walking about looking at that sign over there to find out when and where and train, and a bar up there. So if you want to go for a wee drink, you can go for a wee drink. But we don't, because I've got a really cool statue to show you. It shows soldiers from the First World War heading to an aid station after they've been caught in a gas attack, so these poor men are all blind, either temporary or permanently. It's actually based on quite a famous painting called Gassed by an artist called John Singer. Go check it out, it's one of those really emotive pieces of art. Manchester city centre is an eclectic mix of old and new like that and old like that, which is very impressive. The city was a massive player in the Industrial Revolution. It claims to be the first industrialised city, so we're going to go and try and find a little bit of that industrial history. And they've got a free bus, and as you know, free is our favourite price. So this is MOSI, which is the Museum of Science and Industry, and it used to be absolutely amazing. I say used to be because, as we found out on this trip, a lot of it is closed down. They're spending a huge amount of money refurbishing all the old buildings, which must cost a fortune because maintenance was not high on the list of priorities when they were built. So there's millions and millions getting spent on new spaces, but it does unfortunately mean that there's not as much to see here as you would like.
We interrupt this programme to bring you a small apology. I spend a lot of time apologising these days. We've apologised for the weather and the technology over the past couple of weeks, and this week I'm afraid it's the technology again, because I bought a little wireless microphone thing, a little cheap wireless thing, and I thought it sounded okay when I tested it, but as soon as you take it anywhere with any sort of background noise, it's, well, you'll find out in a second, it's pretty dreadful. Yeah, sorry for the sound quality, the little microphone is now in the bin.
So there it claims that Manchester was the world's first industrial city, and the thing that made it industrial was cotton. There was lots of cotton mills around about here, and lots of people got very rich. Lots of other people got some interesting diseases because it wasn't a very hygienic place. There is some very cool stuff here, to be fair. This is just the first wee bit, but there's lots of cotton spinning machinery and things associated with the Industrial Revolution. I'm not interested in the Industrial Revolution or Victoria engineering. As you probably know already, it's all a bit sort of meh. I'm joking, it's amazing. Never seen that before. If you had the money back in the day, you'd have one of these in your house. That is a carbon water filter that took some of the bacteria out. If you didn't have the money, you got dysentery. I keep kneeling down and standing up and getting head rush. I think you must be either getting older or taller or something, but it's, yeah. One day I'm going to do it and fall over. More machinery. It's all been far too much for Bex. Bex, how excited are you by this? Next bit is the textiles gallery. Guess where I'm not spending a lot of time? Yeah. They've got an exhibition called Food, Poo and You. That sounds no, I can't say that. This, I guess, replicates the floor of an old cotton spinning mill. But so far, there's been no mention of the people that actually picked the cotton because, yeah, we're not going into the people that picked the cotton, but I'm guessing they weren't locals of the places where the cotton was grown. There's still quite a few mill buildings left in Manchester. Obviously nothing like as many as there used to be at its peak when the city was all just basically a massive mill town. All powered by coal, so soot and stour and smog, and yeah, probably not very pleasant. We're now spending longer than we want to admit trying to find that. Oh, there he is there. Look, there's 3 of them. And then there's a ship, which is actually, no, we're not going to do this. This will be really, really boring television, even by our standards. If you can see a ship there, yeah. Oh yeah, there it is there. There's a ship. There's a playing card, which is there. There's a football, which is there. There's a football up there. And then there's a pair of scissors, which is... I think we should stop doing this. I don't think it's going to be very interesting. Oh, there they are there. Oh, there's a thing over here that talks a little bit about Manchester cotton and slavery, which obviously the cotton made people rich, but there was also a much darker side to the whole industry. We're having a bit of an argument because Bex is saying you should know what these things are. Well, that's obviously inkwells, port pie ink bottles, and a vulcanite bottle stopper, and the stopper from a hot water bottle. And I said that's a domino, and she said you don't get dominoes with 9 spots. Yeah.
Everybody loves a know-it-all, don't they?
Well, I don't know. I have no idea.
Well, I've never played dominoes with 9 spots. 6 is the maximum.
Should they have 6? Should they? Maybe that's. 6. I don't know.
Double 6 is what you start with.
Maybe that's if you want a longer game of dominoes, you start with 9.
Well, let's see the words that tell us.
There aren't any words. I've had a look. we're never going to know unless we Google it. In fact, some of you guys can Google it for us and let us know. A 9-spot domino. And somebody's been digging an old bottle dump by the looks of that. That looks very much like the stuff that we find when we are bottle digging, and we just throw it back in the hole. We don't say, oh look, let's take that and put it in a museum. But we do keep those when we find them. And inevitably at some point you're going to find all or parts of a Keeler's Dundee marmalade pot. Those are truly international. So yeah, this is quite a nice wee exhibit. It's like a bottle digger's exhibit. There's a teapot like the ones that we put flowers in, and there you are, there's some stoneware bottles. And that stuff was all uncovered while exploring the workers' homes, apparently, or the foundations of the workers' homes, probably when they were demolished. If you go down to the poo exhibit today, you're probably going to see
some poo.
Yeah, no. It's a bit disappointing that it's £10 to get in. To learn about your poo. I'm not paying just in case I've done that joke already. Although they do have an interesting array of books. Okay, I don't like being negative, but it is a bit disappointing. It's a bit underwhelming. It used to be so cool. There used to be airplanes and big machines and stuff. Well, still big machines, but it's all just about cotton.
Hey, it's free. It's got a cafe. Stop moaning.
No, it's £10 to go and talk about food.
The rest of it's free though.
The rest of it's free.
Stop moaning.
I'm not moaning, I'm just saying it's free is about the right price for what you get.
Stop it.
Manchester is a city on the up, literally, because beside that old building, which is the old Sunday school, there is this, which is Beetham Tower. Now, Beetham Tower is the tallest building in Manchester and was the first real sort of mega skyscraper they built here, but it does have some company now. But we don't like big buildings like that, we like oldie worldy buildings like this. How cool is this wee pub? This is the Peveril of the Peak, and yeah, it's from a day when the pub would have all its tiles glazed and sent along as a kit, so they all looked really, really nice with these beautiful glazed tiles on the outside. You don't get that sort of craftsmanship anymore. Yeah, it's definitely not short of extremely nice buildings, this part of Manchester. This is called Oxford Road, which takes you along to the university, so it is student central. But we're heading along here because we're going to go and visit the museum.
But that probably comes as a surprise to no one. I've not been here for a while. This used to be one of the museums with like wooden display cabinets and everything sort of, well, the way I like it. It's all been modernised and made a bit more of a what's the word? An event or an experience as opposed to just a museum. But I guess that's what they need to do to keep the youth interested. That is apparently what a woman's womb looks like. It says so. Yeah, it looks more like some sort of termite to me. But okay.
You don't understand these things.
Yeah. Can you see the dogs paw print in that? That proves that it's not just modern dogs that like helping when you're doing stuff. Some poor potter was making that and his dog went, yeah, I'm going to stand right in there.
We're in my favourite part of the whole museum now. This is the ancient Egyptian department, and all these wee bits and pieces were excavated at a place called Abydos. But now we're going to go and say hello to the two brothers. I do like ancient Egyptian museums. This is really cool. This is part of a relief from a tomb wall, but you try not to think about the fact that somewhere in Egypt there is a tomb that has now got a big blank bit on the wall where this used to be when it was unceremoniously ripped out and brought over here to be put on display. But this is the canopic chest of one of the two brothers, and the canopic chest is where all the squishy bits from the inside were put when the bodies were mummified. The coffins are really cool. There's a lot of speculation about why one was black and one was white, were they of different races, but apparently genetic testing has proven they are actually brothers. They share at least one parent. So yeah, it's a really cool place. That is Cnum Nacht, and that is Nacht Ag. It's last time I was here, I'm pretty sure the actual mummies were on display, but now they've been taken off out of cultural sensitivity towards people who've been dead for 3,000 years. As well as the two brothers, there's lots of other bits and pieces here to see, but as I said before, as long as you don't think about the fact that somewhere there's a temple that is missing that lintel because it's been unceremoniously hacked out and brought here. And as well as all the Egyptian stuff, there's an eclectic mix of other bits and pieces like this, the Royal Pigeon Racing Association. I had no idea that even existed. And these are casts of a person and a dog who died when Vesuvius erupted and destroyed Pompeii. Basically the ash covered the bodies rotted away and left a void that could be filled with plaster. Bex is, as you can see, very impressed. And also clearly enjoying a wee sit down. Probably more than you're enjoying the sound quality this week. Anyway, how is this for a centrepiece for your museum? This is the skeleton of a sperm whale that must have caused quite a stir when it was first put up back in the late 1800s. Anybody interested in a display of commercial animal fur? How many moles do you have to skin to make? Well, anything. Moles aren't very big. And there's one of De Niro's ancestors from somewhere way back in history, part of a collection of dog skulls. There are lots and lots of dog skulls here. And our last port of call while we're here was to go and visit Stan. Now Stan is quite an impressive fossil, or actually it's not really a fossil, it's a cast of a fossil, because if it was a fossil it'd be too heavy to display like this. There's a lot of these casts dotted about the world, and they were done by the discoverers of these artefacts so that people in other countries and other museums could study them without actually seeing the original. And that was that for our wee explore of a couple of Manchester's museums. It really is an interesting city. If you're passing, you should stop by for a wee visit. Anyway, we had done enough for one day, but we didn't really want the day to end, because if the day ended, that means it is Sunday, and if it's Sunday, that can only mean one thing. Well, the big day has dawned, and Bex is not appearing in this bit of the episode because she's got a... Yes, it's the first marathon she's done. She's looking a bit nervous. But we're going to do brilliant, aren't we, Bex? We're going to do brilliant. We're going to come back with medals. The Manchester Marathon is the second biggest in the UK, and because it's such a huge event, people set off in waves. So this is all the faster people that are setting off on their wave, and they'll be pretty much mostly finished by the time we get started. But yeah, they look like they were enjoying it, but this is only a couple of K into the run, so yeah, we'll be enjoying it at this stage as well. Probably just not enjoying it very much by the time we next see this sign, because we're now walking down the finish straight to the start. There is Bex and SJ, who is not appearing in this episode, but so she'll kill me when she sees this bit. Nice old building. There's the old Trafford Public Hall, which is now a hotel, and yeah, I'm just killing time till we get to the start, because yeah, I may not show it here, or maybe I am showing it here, but I am extremely nervous.
Speed of finish drop. 1, 2, 3.
A look of calm confidence. Why are we doing this? No, me neither.
20-odd thousand people made it to the start line, and the last 5 minutes before the race set off was some of the most nerve-wracking of the whole thing, the whole training thing, the whole doing it. You're standing here waiting to go, and yeah, you're just waiting for the countdown and the gun and the getting started.
Are we going to enter for next year? Well, this is it. What the hell are we doing? We're too old for this nonsense.
Okay, Manchester, this is it. The countdown is about to begin. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
My only ambition was to finish in less than 4 hours and 45 minutes, and behind us were the 4 hours and 45 minute pacers, but they weren't taking it entirely seriously as far as I could see.
We're going to stay at the...
Mad, we're all mad.
It has to be said, the support on the route was brilliant, and no offer of a high five could possibly be turned down, which did mean quite a lot of zigzagging and annoying other people, but I don't care. By halfway, I was really starting to feel it, but the support was definitely pushing me along.
Thank you. Thank you.
That's pretty cool. I've got no idea where we are, and quite frankly, I don't care. But we've got about 10 miles to go, and Bex is still smiling. I'm not. I'm definitely not smiling. Mr. Slow! By name and by t-shirt vest thing.
By the time we got inside the last 10k, I was dead on my feet, but Bex was still going strong, and it was only having her there beside me that kept me going. Otherwise, I would have given up and just walked, but with her, that wasn't an option.
It is 4 hours and 43 minutes after we set off, and Dizzy and Bex, Scotland on a shoestring, marathon runners. Oh yes. And now for the biggest pint of cider in history.
So we have finished our marathon, and because we're athletes, we're going to go and we're going to do something totally athletic.
Yeah, we're going to go to the pub and eat and drink lots.
We're going to go to the pub and eat and drink an awful lot.
Because we've earned it.
We've earned it. Our American viewers will recognise this sort of thing. This is a shopping centre, as you can call it, a shopping mall. It's all totally unnecessary for the purposes of shopping. It's all marble and statues and stuff. It's very grand, but also very, very fake. And you'll probably notice that we're kind of both walking like we had an accident in our trousers. This is where the sore legs start to really set in after that run.
And we've come here because, quite frankly, the thought of having to walk anywhere fills me with dread. So come here because I've driven and parked right outside. It's a very, very grand place. Lots and lots of options for food. all overpriced that we've just run 26 miles, so we don't actually care. But first, drinkies. Unfortunately, because I'm driving, it does mean a small compromise. It's Copperberg alcohol free for the avoidance of any doubt, and because Bex isn't driving, yeah, that is not alcohol free. Thankfully for a Sunday night, it's not even very busy. This bit's quite cool actually. Over there it's like the deck of a ship. They've got the bridge up there and a starry sky that is not presently switched on. But they have like jazz bands and stuff on the little stage. It's quite a nice place actually. It's a sort of event to come here if you're a bit sad. This is definitely our favourite pizza place. That's our favourite what? Free. Oh dear, I've done it again. This was the pizza I've just eaten. There's what it looks like. There's half of that one, but yeah. We're not very good at food blogging, are we, Bex?
I'm just enjoying mine. She's enjoying hers.
In the unlikely event you find yourself in the Trafford Centre, we can recommend the Franco Manca pizzas. Ours were actually free and I had a vegetarian one, which is most unlike me, but it was very, very nice. What a great place. And tonight in Manchester there are over 20,000 people coming downstairs like this, very carefully holding on to the handrail. Yeah, ouchy legs. And with sore legs but a medal in her bag, Bex set off back to Scotland while I stayed down in Manchester for work. We do hope you've enjoyed this slightly different episode of Scotland on a Shoestring, and next week I promise you we will be back in Scotland.